Well, what's going on? How y'all doing? So, the Oklahoma City Thunder held on, beat the Indiana Pacers 120 to 109 as they move one step closer to an NBA chip. They up 3-2. But the big news was Jalen Williams went off for 40 points. He was busting it out last night. I mean, Shea Chris Alexander at 31 to 10. It was he did good, but Jalen Williams was huge. Hit some big threes. The big story on the other side was that Tyrese Halliburton had that injury, couldn't really get his momentum back on his foot. Now, TJ McConnell trying to come back, came up with some big shots, played hard. Pascal Siakam, they were within two late in the fourth quarter, but they just didn't have that next extra gear. It was just like OKC was not going to let this one go because they got to know that if they lose, that series could be over. And really, realistically, again, if you take away Halliburton's game one winner, this series would be over right now. Think about it. Because OKC, for the most part, did what they're supposed to do, and they've been the better team. It's just that the Pacers being feisty. But then, one of the knocks against the Pacers is that, if we're going to be honest, they just don't have that firepower, that guy that can score easy buckets, And this is where, for what they do, you miss a Reggie Miller type, a Paul George type, a Danny Granger type, a Chuck Persons type. You got to have somebody who can score points with what you got. And they sometimes have a hard time getting buckets, And so, not surprised OKC won. I think OKC, once they found that, got that win in Indiana, I think that might have been the turning point. Because you gotta finish off an OKC team. They know enough ways to come back to do what they gotta do. So it was a impressive win with what they did. But to say that Indiana can't win the next game would be wrong. Because the series it's again, if Tyrese Halliburton got any juice in him, and I'm sure they're going to come out and give their best. I know they're going to come correct. And the thing about it is that, I fully expect the series to go the distance. Teams are pretty evenly matched up, and there's always like a matter of, who's going to get the last this, the one of that. But I will say this, though. Of all the teams I've seen the Pacers play against, this has clearly been the best team because the other series that I saw them in, they had pretty much made adjustments or they figured out what they were able to do or steal a game here, steal a game there. And one thing about OKC, they don't get themselves in a predicament where you take two off of them or they don't make an adjustment. They bend, but they don't fold. And that's why I think OKC's in a position to win the championship and possibly, making another run. Realistically, because they got the type of team that, yes, they have their flaws and they got their bumps in the road, but they also got enough, offensive firepower, and they make enough defensive moves to get what they need to get. So that's what I'm seeing. But anyway, again, they were in control of the game for the most part. They gave you those little runs and little lapses, but it's pretty much theirs for the taking. This is basically their series to lose. So that's how I would look at it. But Jalen Williams was huge, again, they were actually beaten. It's a funny thing. That's why I said this series is pretty much as even as you can get because they're the only team that can beat the Pacers at their own game. And the Pacers are the only team that can beat them at their own game. But the Pacers got to figure out a way to keep the tempo up. That's the key. They cannot get into a game where they go half court or let OKC dictate because that's how you fall behind and you fall off the pace. So we shall see what adjustments are made. More important, we'll see if Tyrese Halliburton can bounce back and if he can get him lift on his legs. And if Rick Carlisle got one more miracle in him, but they are on the brink of elimination. But it's a tough series, though. It's one of those kind of series that it could still, the Pacers could win. And if they win, Game 7 could be crazy. So I still think it's going to go 7. I think the Pacers will come back. I'd be a little bit surprised if they don't. But then again, one thing about OKC, They don't play around when they need to make adjustments or when they do so. But it's been a good series, though. It's just that I hate to see anyone get hurt because then no one can say that, hey, all things were fair and you know what you're going to say. So, anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, though. But please hit like, subscribe, with your thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. Peace.